tailwind for clean energy projects. The importance of photovoltaic installations in the energy transition are becoming more and more important. Dr. Grolman, traditionally you are in your French markets very active, but recently you started more moving to the east, and Poland is one of your favorite business markets now. Why is this the case, and how do you realize good profitable projects within this country?
Yeah. Well, at VSB Group, we're quite lucky. We have 25 years of experience of being a pan-European developer of solar and wind assets. And so historically, we obviously come from Germany. Then we have a very strong presence in the French market, especially in the wind. And now we are taking advantage of our 15 years experience in the Polish wind market to really reap the opportunities that we see in the solar market. So what we can do in these kind of markets is really combine the experience and the relationships that our teams have in the wind assets, in the renewable energy assets in general, and transfer that knowledge to the solar market.
All right. How do you pursue your investors there? Is it more via PPA financing, or is it more via governmental subsidies?
So if you look at the European markets in renewable energy, we've come from a regime where basically the only way to build a renewable energy infrastructure investment was to use state-run feed-in tariffs. Now it's a very different landscape. In Finland, where we have a team operating, there's no feed-in tariff at all, and we still manage to do very profitable investments with our investors like and which our off-takers like. In countries like Poland, we have a combination of it. So we do have a feed-in tariff, but we have a lot of large corporates who say, look, we'd much rather have a very stable contract using renewable energy, proper green energy, that is for the next 15 years fixed at a single price that we can really rely on, than to be relying on fossil fuels. And that is not just the climate aspect of it, but the security aspect as well.
Is there a big gap between PPA prices to subsidies in Poland?
There is a gap at the moment. It depends very much on the project, but it's not like a huge one.
Enough from Poland. You are also busy again in Germany. Germany is a very competitive market concerning land. There are also companies from outside looking to invest here because Germany seems a bit a kind of an El Dorado at the moment. 250 gigawatts planned within the next 7 years. Everybody wants a share of it. So how do you guarantee your lands, your spaces for your photovoltaic projects?
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that we have both in Germany and in all our other 9 European markets is that we've been there for a long time. In Germany especially, the land ownership is, a lot of it is agriculturally different. There's a lot of farming communities. It's very much in the hand of people who really care about their land and their community. And what VSB does really well, I believe, is that we take the experience we have from our wind projects and the trust that was placed into us by our communities to transfer that into the future. So if you think about giving a lease of your land to somebody for 15, 20, 25 years, you don't just want to give that to anyone.
What's your general recipe for a successful project with lots of profits and a good yield for the investors?
Yeah. Well, obviously, I won't disclose all of the details here right now because I think we're in quite a public space. But I think for us, I've been hinting at that. I mean, it's really the combination of experience with modernity and digitalization. So we both have people who've been with us for 20 years and who have really been the pioneers of the energy transition, both in Germany and in Europe. And they really know how these things work, right?
Talking about wind and photovoltaic, VSB Group has experience in both business sides. Is it wise for an investor to combine these both? And if yes, what are the benefits if you combine it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at VSB Group, we're running a pipeline of 13 gigawatts all over Europe at the moment. Right. And that is combined of solar and wind. And what we see is that our investors who want to acquire these projects later on have a real appetite for a combination of the two. It's what you call a hybrid project. And why is that the case? So if you look at these kind of things, you've had a world where it didn't matter when you produce a kilowatt hour, right? It wouldn't matter if you produce at night or at midday. It will always bring the same feed-in tariff from the government. And that is obviously not very conducive. It's not good, because kilowatt hours are always depending on the time they're produced. If nobody needs them in the middle of the night, they're not expensive at all. But if we all go and switch on our TV when the football starts, or we switch on our kettle, then it's really expensive. So you have a certain profile, you call it, on the demand side. So what we try to do is we try to sort of adapt our projects to that profile. So when you have wind and solar in one project, you usually have the solar project really delivering a lot of electricity at midday when the sun is up. The wind is usually quite high in the morning and in the afternoon, evening, maybe even in the night. So you have a much, much better distribution of delivered energy throughout the day, which then enables you to get a much better price for the electricity that you sell to the market.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Lovely talking to you. Yeah.